Hey guys, as you get settled in, just figured I'd have some music going, get in the chat, let me know where it is that you're coming in from. Give everybody a minute to get settled. I'll have this playlist available for you guys after. Let me know where it is that you are watching us from today. I see a couple of you guys in here that are so I know that we got people coming in from Texas, Jersey, England. Oh, hey, Philly. Nashville, Tennessee. Amazing. Cairo, Egypt. Holy shit. That's awesome. Let's see. Romania, Jersey. Incredible. We have people literally here from all over the world today. This is going to be such a powerful session. I'm really excited to be doing this with every single one of you. As you listen to the music and get settled, make sure you have a journal, a pen, anything you need to get comfy because we're doing some pretty transformative stuff today. And we'll just give about another minute because people keep rolling into that waiting room to make sure that we're not missing anybody. More Philly. We've got Arizona coming in here. Hey, Chris. Hey, Steve. New York City. Hey, Steph. And anybody who's just coming on, I ask everybody to share it in the chat where you guys are coming in from. We're giving everybody like a minute to get in here, to get set. Another Philly in the house. I'm pumped. Rhode Island. Hi, Jean. If you guys haven't seen already, as we do this masterclass today, share it. I'm going to be announcing a big giveaway at the end. And the more you share and the more you tag me, the more my team can track it and then randomly pick someone. I'm going to announce it at the end. All right. Hi. Let me pull this off of there. Perfect. Okay. Hi, everybody. For those of you guys who have absolutely no idea who I am and you just came across this randomly, my name is Danielle Massey. I'm a licensed psychotherapist, master shadow worker, best-selling author, CEO of a holistic healing company that has both in-person and virtual options, and the founder of a big conference in the Philadelphia area. And today I want to talk to you guys about something that is really near and dear to my heart. My backstory and how I kind of got into this work is that I am a cancer survivor. And when I was going through cancer, my doctors didn't have answers for me in the way that you would hope when you're, talking to an oncologist. I thought that they'd have more resources, more information for me on how to deal with the things that I was going through. And I kind of made it my personal mission to figure out and work backwards exactly how it happened to me and exactly how I could help people get to a point where they're so healthy that they would never have to experience it for themselves. And through that work, which I began over 5 years ago, I've kind of reverse engineered not only how to make yourself healthy, but to figure out how to manifest anything that you want, which is what the portal is all about. We are going to be moving through all these different stages of really teaching your body, your mind, and your energy how to rewire themselves for whatever it is that you want. It doesn't have to be something that's really cut and dry. It can be something that's really ambiguous. Like I want to have a really amazing life. I want to have things be easy, or it can be hyper specific. Like I want to write a book about blank. Our body, our mind, and our energy all kind of work together. Since beginning this work 5 years ago, I kind of figured out how to manifest, like I said. And through that process, I've kind of been thrown into the media spotlight. I'm frequently interviewed for huge top podcasts, for all different news outlets, for outlets like New York Mag, The Cut, Shape Magazine, Huffington Post. And when I'm interviewed, I'm usually asked a variation of the same question. I'm pretty young. I'm 35 years old. So they always ask me how I got successful so fast. What was it that actually made that happen in such little time? And I've thought about this question because I've been asked it so many times. And usually you say all the same stuff, hard work and dedication and really just getting out there and grinding it out. But when I sit back and reflect on it, I recognize that the real reason that I've been able to be successful is that I do really stupid things. I make really, really dumb decisions. And those decisions are dumb because I'm not really thinking about the consequences when I make them. I make bold moves. And when I make those moves, I'm not thinking about the consequences. So, examples of this are things like quitting being a licensed psychotherapist at the point where I was finally, after years of working as a therapist, making a six-figure income. That was the point that I decided to quit. I can tell you guys right now, my family wanted to kill me because, my parents had helped me pay for college, and my husband was like, "You finally figured this out. What are you doing?" It wasn't until I made decisions like that where I go, "No, I'm just going to throw it all out. I'm just going to start over and we'll just do it differently next time." Or another example of doing something just absolutely dumb to everybody else but me is I put down a $20,000 deposit to host the Selfish Philly conference the first year that I did it 5 years ago. I had no following. I had no one in Philadelphia who knew anything about me or what I was going to bring, no connections, no relationships. I just kind of did it. I didn't think it through. And as someone whose background is in cognitive neuroscience, the logical side of me wants to tell you guys, don't do that. Because when you make really scary, bold decisions like that, the consequences could be astronomical. It could be hugely impactful in positive, but also in negative ways. And yet, there is a science to making really big, bold moves that work out for you. So here's what I want you guys to know about it before we start getting into more of the tactile and physical stuff that we're going to do today. And if you haven't done so yet, grab a journal and a pen. Make sure that you use this time to have all the tools at the ready because we're going to just dive right in a few minutes. So our bodies, minds, and energy all work together to create a system of homeostasis. Here's how that works. When we are born, we're basically like a blank slate. We have some highways that get laid down in the brain called neural pathways. And these neural pathways are based on every experience that we've ever had. And they're the foundation of our brain. When we are under the age of 7, we're constantly working to build these highways. And after the age of 7, it starts to slow down because there's already so many in place. An example of what this might look like is if you are 4 years old and you're watching your mom and she's playing with your younger sibling, and you have this moment where you feel like, what about me? Am I not important? Does my mom not love me anymore? What happens in that moment is you have the sensory experience. So all the things that are happening around you, the smells, the taste, what you're visually seeing, what you're hearing, like maybe you're hearing your little sibling cooing while mom's going, "I love you so much." And all those sensory experiences are communicating to your brain. And when they come in through your ears, through your eyes, through your mouth, through your fingertips, they're going to send off signals in the brain. And those signals are going to create an emotional reaction in the emotional center of your brain or on the amygdala. And when that happens, chemicals are going to fire. And you guys know those as emotions. Those emotions are going to send a message down through your brainstem, down the spinal cord into your body about how to react. So your body might go, okay, we need to start the heart pumping. We need to change the breath. We need to work on how it is that this is being relayed throughout the system. And when that happens and the message is completely relayed, then you are going to have a thought that completes the loop. That thought is going to send a message back up through the body, back up to the brain in the form of a thought, and it's going to reinforce what you already know. So, mommy doesn't love me. This is not a good situation for me. And as we go through this every single second of every single day, our bodies, our minds, and our energy are creating a system of homeostasis. There's a normal that you develop as a person. And if you guys have any questions while I'm going through this, just drop them in the chat. I'll make sure to answer them as we go. So your body is creating the system of homeostasis. So up until age 7, you're learning about how you're going to move through the world. And after the age of 7, you've learned quite a bit about who you are, how you're going to show up, and what people expect of you. It's still a little bit in flux until around age 25. At 25, things become more solidified. But up until that point, you can adjust, you can make moves, you can make tweaks and changes. When we get to 25, most neuroscientists feel that our brains and our bodies and our energy are basically hardwired. And that level of homeostasis that you're at, it doesn't want to move. I don't know if you guys are familiar with thermostats and how they work, but quick little lesson on it. Let's say that you guys want your house to be 72 degrees. So you set the thermostat to 72. If it gets colder in the house, like starts to creep down 71, 70, 69, the heat will kick on and the heat will run until the house gets up to 71, 72, 73, 74. And then it'll stop for a while until the heat starts to come down to 73, 72, 71, 70, 69. And it'll just keep moving like that. It creates this sort of a pattern. Your body and your mind and your energy are always doing the same thing. You have a level of homeostasis. So all those experiences that you've had throughout your life that have shaped your brain to make you who you are the foundation for your homeostasis. So Belle's homeostasis might be 72 degrees. Laura's might be 68. Susanna's might be 78. Lucia's might be 84. Monique's might be 61. Your homeostasis is determined mostly by those first 7 years of your life, but really by the first 25. And that's the reason why some people are wildly successful and other people tend to float, to skate by. Because whatever has happened to you is exactly what you are perpetuating. We keep ourselves stuck. We create the experiences that we have. And then we look on Facebook and we're like, fucking Terry. Terry is doing so well. I've always got to see her doing amazing. And it's bullshit because I should have that. And yet, when we're given opportunities, when we have moments that we could break free of our own homeostasis, we don't take them. We very rarely ever do. We are much more likely to do everything in our power to stay here in this moment, exactly how things are. We create our stuckness. The portal is an experience that I designed today to help you start to really mess with your homeostasis, to make bold moves, to do things that feel terrifying, that change the way that your brain's neural pathways are wired, that change how energy is stored in your body, that'll make it so that we can move your homeostasis up little bits at a time. When I talked earlier about bold moves and doing dumb things, I think there's a part of me that I've learned over the years that if I can make bold moves and not let homeostasis kick in, then I can easily keep raising my own homeostasis. So when something scares me, instead of being afraid about it, I let it energize me. $20,000 to start a conference when probably nobody's going to show up and I'm going to go in debt? Yes, sign it. I'm in, because it's going to keep pushing me and challenging me. Now, I wouldn't necessarily recommend you guys make bold moves like that. Like, that's huge, but little things. How can you interrupt your own homeostasis? So we're going to start with the journaling exercise, but there's a question I'm going to answer first. They've been asked, are homeostasis and ego functions similar? Yes. So our brain has 3 levels of consciousness. And this is shown in 6 levels of white matter. If you guys are familiar with the brain, there's gray matter and there's white matter. Your white matter is your neural pathways. Those 6 layers of neural pathways are broken up into sections of 2, 2, and 2. The top 2 levels are your conscious mind. It's the part of you that knows that you're sitting here right now, drinking a cup of tea, driving in your car, listening to me talk. Beneath that, the middle 2 levels are the subconscious mind. And this is the stuff that's just below the surface of your awareness, but you can access it if you want to. When you really sit back and try to be introspective, or when you go to a therapy session, you are accessing the subconscious mind. When you recognize your shitty behaviors and try to do something else, you're accessing the subconscious mind. Some of those things are even happening automatically. For instance, have you guys ever driven in the car and you're like listening to music or talking on the phone, and all of a sudden you look up and you're there and you're like, I don't even remember driving here. Like I'm just here. Or when you wake up in the morning, you grab your phone, you start to scroll, you're not really paying attention, you go brush your teeth, you wash your face, And then you look up and you're like, I don't even know how I did that. It's automatic. A lot of behaviors are housed in those middle two levels of white matter, the subconscious mind. The bottom two levels are the unconscious mind. And that's where shadow work comes in, which we're going to be doing some shadow work today. So this is actually a great segue. The unconscious mind is all the things you have no idea are there. It's that first 7 years of neural pathway wiring. It's the moments that have shaped you to be who you are, but you do not consciously remember them or even subconsciously remember them. But because of where they're housed in the brain, they influence your behaviors. So they influence homeostasis and they influence how you consciously think. So the question, are homeostasis and ego functions similar? Your ego works to maintain homeostasis. So anytime you try to do something bold or different, the ego will kick in and go, are you sure about that? And remember, I told you guys before about how the memories are stored. The last piece of that subconscious feedback loop after your sensory experiences, your emotions, your physical reactions is your thoughts. Those thoughts that reinforce it sometimes are ego. And if we can interrupt on any of those four levels, it doesn't matter which one, if we can interrupt the sensory piece, the emotional response, the physical reactions, or the thoughts, which are very often ego, we can change your entire life. You could wake up 3 months from now, a completely different person that no one recognizes, not just in terms of how you live your life, but even down to a cellular level, because your cells, the mitochondria within the cell, are always able to be manipulated and shifted. And when we start to make decisions that are different, we change your brain's neural wiring. We change how your body stores information. We change you on a cellular level, which changes your energy. We're literally changing how electrons are expressed in your body. You will look different at the end of it. So that's what we're doing today. And I'm glad that that made sense. So clear. Thank you. You are welcome. Let's get into it. Let's start doing this today. I want you to, at the end of our time together today, start to feel the effects of this, to start to do this work. So I would love for you guys to just pull out your journals and pens. And we're going to go right into a journaling exercise. So take a moment. If you can't find yours, just go grab it from wherever it is. And if you have it, grab your pen and get ready. We're going to do a little shadow work journaling prompt. So let's begin by closing our eyes and taking some deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And I'm going to play some music over the top of this. Let me know if you guys can hear that. Take some big breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Good. And as you guys breathe, I want you to start to think about your own homeostasis. Deeply in through the nose and out through the mouth. Start to contemplate the ways that you have kept yourself where you are. Maybe releasing any tension that you have in your neck and shoulders by rolling them around a little bit. Another big breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Think back to the moments that have defined where you are. Moments where you've limited yourself. And breathe. In and out. I want you to begin to ask yourself this question. How have I kept myself stuck? And breathe. Now grab your journal and start to write the answer that came through for you on that. How have I kept myself stuck? If nothing really came through in that moment, just think to yourself, using logic, using your body, in what ways have you turned down opportunities? When has fear entered the chat? Notice how your body feels as you answer this question. How do I keep myself stuck? How do I maintain my homeostasis? What does that feel like physically? Take another minute to just wrap it up. Anything else that you feel like needs to be included in this? For those of you who have just joined us, we're journaling on how we keep ourselves stuck in our lives. Just taking a moment to feel into that question. If you finish, let your eyes close. Let yourself breathe into this experience. Let your shoulders roll back and feel if there's any tightness in your body anywhere. As you breathe, focusing on filling your belly with air. Instead of letting your shoulders rise and fall, you should feel your belly moving in and out, forward and back. If you're still writing, wrap it up and get into the breath. As you breathe, letting any tension that you're holding on to begin to slip away. Because we're going to start moving into some shadow work. Feel your whole body relaxing. Feel yourself resting. Feeling safe in this moment with wherever it is that we are going to go. One more deep breath and hold it at the top. And release. And as you continue to breathe, I want you to imagine that every piece of your system, from the top of your head all the way down to the base of your spine, is relaxed together. In this moment, your chakras are lined up one on top of the other. From the top of your head to the area between your eyebrows, down to your throat and your heart, down to the center of your abdomen, all the way down to behind your navel center. And finally down to the base of your spine. As you breathe, feel the air passing through all those areas. And I want you to imagine breathing in beautiful white light energy in through the nose. And on the exhales, releasing any heaviness and tension out as gray smoke. Breathing again in through the nose and out through the mouth. And on our next breath, we're going to feel you getting pulled down. Breathing in. And on your exhale, moving down through a long chute. Feeling yourself getting sucked down like you're moving down through a portal. Down as the world around you fades to black. Moving down, feeling wind whipping all over your body, your face, sweeping your hair up, brushing everything around you gently as the temperature begins to slowly drop. Letting yourself getting pulled down and down further and further. As the pace begins to slow, you start to feel yourself gently relaxing, slowing, easing into a time and a place somewhere in your own personal history where you have maintained that homeostasis, where you have stopped yourself from growing out of fear. A moment when you have gotten in your own way. Let your feet land on the floor softly, the portal around you dissipating. And as you relax into that space, as you connect in, beginning to roll your feet, heel to toe, letting yourself ground into this moment and beginning by noticing what your feet look like. Maybe they're small because you're younger. Maybe they're barefoot, or you can see the shoes that are on them. Noticing all of the little details of your feet, using all of your senses. For some of you, seeing comes easily. For others, you won't see at all, but you'll feel, you'll smell, or you'll just know in your bones. However it is that the information is being given to you in this moment, trust it. And then let your attention move up to the rest of your body. Notice how your body feels. Notice what it looks like here in this moment. Notice what you're wearing. And as you notice all of these little details, as you connect in with the appearance that you have, let awareness sweep over you about where you are and when. And begin to allow everything around you to come into view. Let this moment saturate your entire being. Let yourself feel into wherever this place is and when. And allow yourself to begin to wonder why you're here. What is it about this moment that you need? Why have you been transported to right now? And then begin to let the moment come into view. Let yourself see everything about it. Let the memory play out before you of this time when you kept yourself in homeostasis, this moment where you may have stopped your own growth. And as you witness it or know it, feel it, let yourself breathe. Your breath is medicine. Breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Relaxing your shoulders, letting all of the air make its way into your belly, filling your diaphragm with air until you fully understand why it is that you landed here right now. Let that awareness trickle in. Let it settle over your entire being. Allow yourself to place your left hand over your belly and your right hand over your heart. And as you do, take some breaths that fill your belly and feel your left hand moving out. And try to keep your right hand as still as possible. Bypassing the lungs, letting the air move into your diaphragm and your belly as you change how this moment is settling into your nervous system. And as you're here, remind yourself out loud or in your head that while this moment occurred, it does not define you. Just because you stopped yourself this time, it doesn't mean that you will ever do it again. Remind yourself as you breathe that you have all of the power to create change. I want you to feel like someone is beginning to pour golden light over the top of your head, almost like warm honey. Feel it, goopy, landing on the top of your head at the crown. Feel that energy pouring into you as it begins to make its way over your third eye in the center of your eyebrows. Dripping down. Feel that golden energy, that honey, making its way down over your entire head to your throat. Feeling it warming your body with tingling sensations. Down over your shoulders and your heart. Feel it dripping down over the center of your abdomen, over your navel, your hips, making its way down your legs to your knees, your calves, and all the way down your feet to the very tips of your toes. And like a little bit of a shock, feeling that energy moving back upwards over your entire system. Breathe in deeply, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Allow this experience to wash over you, knowing that you have all of the power. Take one more big breath and hold it at the top to seal in this healing. Breathing in, holding it, letting the power swirl around through your body, feeling it changing you, that golden light emanating, and release. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. Your mind is a powerful tool. And shadow work is a really powerful way of tapping into your mind, your body, and your energy. But it's just the first part of this. Because while it's impactful and really powerful, your body always keeps the score. I spoke at an event this weekend that a few of you I recognize from that event. So welcome back. But I spoke about my relationship with Dr. Bessel van der Kolk and how he has not only taught me that the body keeps the score, but also that our minds, our bodies, and our energy are so intimately connected. And the story that I shared was about how when he gets on stage nowadays, he gets up and he grumbles because he's an old man and he goes, "Oh, you guys have seen me all these times. You know everything I'm going to say already. Here's my shaman." And he lets his shaman come on stage and take over. And she starts to talk about things like meridians and how our body houses energy. And that is why I use EFT, which is emotional freedom technique, also known as tapping. If you guys have never heard of tapping before, the way that it works is that we have all of these energy systems running through our body, these meridians. And if anybody's ever had acupuncture before, we're utilizing the same system. If you go in for acupuncture for anxiety, they're going to place a couple of needles at your temples, just between your eyebrows on either side. They might put one over on your hands, the bottoms of your feet, and at your ankles because they're tapping into where energy or anxiety is stored in the body. Tapping is the process of utilizing these meridian points to start to release any particular energetic signature that you are holding on to. So, in terms of our theme for today, we are going to tap out the energy of whatever experience you just had, any moment that you've held yourself back. So, if you guys are new to tapping, you should know where these meridians are. So, tap with me. What we're going to do is we're going to begin by taking whichever is your non dominant hand. And we're going to take this little fleshy area on the side below your pinky. And we're going to take all the fingers from your dominant hand except for your thumb. And we're just going to start to tap on them. The pressure should feel mild, like you should feel tapping, but we're not trying to kill ourselves here. Just tapping away at that location. This is our first spot. The next one after that is the very top of your head at the crown, where that golden honey energy was floating through. And we're actually going to use both hands to tap on that spot because it opens up the pathway between your left and your right hemisphere. It'll look like this, like you're drumming on your head. Good, good, good. And if anybody's unsure if they're doing it right, just put your camera on so I can take a peek at you. After this point, we're going to move down and we're going to be coming in above the eyebrows, but barely on either side, 2 fingers on each one. We're going to tap, tap, tap right there. Then we're going to go to the outside of the eyebrows, outside the eyes, and we're going to tap on our temples. Good. The next spot after that is below your nose, above your lip. 1 hand, 1 finger. Tap, 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 tap. You can also use 2 fingers and just line them up, but you're not using both fingers to tap. You're just using one. It's just a preference. It doesn't make any difference. After that, we're going to take either the same 1 finger or 2, and we're going to tap at the chin. Your chin is your next energy center. Right in the center. After that, we're moving down to the collarbones. I'm just going to lower my camera here a little bit so you guys can see. And maybe even take off my jacket, make it really easy for you guys to see. We're going to tap at the collarbones. 2 hands again. Opening up that area between the 2 hemispheres. Your left and your right hemispheres work together in tapping. After the collarbones, we're going to go to the left side of your body. And it's sort of where, I know we have a few guys in here, but the area where your bra band would be, all the way on the side. We're tapping there. And then after we tap at that spot, I feel like that is the weirdest one, but we tap at that spot. After that, wrists. We're going to clang them together. Super simple. And now, while we're doing this exercise, while we are tapping, we are going to be talking through some mantras. We're going to be talking about the experience. So this is going to be me calling something out and you guys repeating it. You can say it out loud or in your head. I always think spoken word is better. And that has to do with Kundalini yoga and how when we really flex that throat chakra and we get the words out, it creates more movement and more momentum. But if you're somewhere that you can't, you can just recite these things in your head and then you can always practice it later. So, what we'll do is I'll begin by saying some things and I'll be tapping at certain spots, moving through the system in exactly the order that we just did. And as I say those words, I just need you to repeat them back, focusing in on what we just did. Sound good? Perfect. All right. So let's start with that fleshy area outside the hand. We're going to be spending a little bit of time here before we begin. So start to tap that area. And as we tap that spot, I want you to repeat after me. Even though I've held myself back, even though I have stopped myself in the past, even though I've done things to play small, I love myself anyway. Even though I have worked hard to keep myself stuck, even though I have been a co-conspirator in my homeostasis, even though I have been the reason I haven't manifested everything yet, I can boldly choose to fearlessly get over that right now. Okay, let's start at the top of our heads now. Even though I have been stuck, even though I have worked to keep myself stuck, even though my body has worked to keep me stuck, I have the ability to choose. I have the ability to break free. And at absolutely any moment, I can choose to create change and to release that energy for good. Even though that moment that I saw was stuck deep within my mind, stuck deep within my body, and stuck deep within my energy, I can choose at any moment to rewrite the patterns, to alter my mind, body, and energy, and to live life on my terms. I decide what my life looks like. And I decide not to have any limitations. I am choosing to rewrite the story by hacking my mind, my body, and my energy. It all begins with a choice. And I'm choosing it right now. This is day one of the next version of my life. And in this exact moment, I release any energy that I'm holding on to. I free it from my body. And I choose to never let it return. Because I am the creator of my life. Beginning today, I choose a new way. Beginning today, I choose a new way. Beginning today, I choose a new way. I choose to think and feel differently. I choose to release what once was. I choose to embody whatever it is that I desire and to let that wash over me. As I step into this next level of freedom. Take both your hands, put them over your heart. Take a deep breath in and out. Breathe it again and out. On this next breath, hold at the top and imagine sucking up all the shitty energy you just cleared, bringing it all the way to the top of your head. And then releasing it on a big exhale. Letting it all go. Take a moment to just breathe into that experience. Good, good, good. All right, for some of you guys, that might have been your first time tapping. It is as simple as choosing whatever it is that you want to release and just working yourself through acupressure points to release it. You don't have to worry about skipping points. It doesn't work like a linear system. You could do it out of order. It doesn't make a difference. It's not like lymphatic drainage where you have to move through the points in a specific order in order to like move the lymph node drainage in a certain way. You can mix and match it. So if you're curious about it and you want to learn more, you can tap along to things that already exist, or you can make your own and make it highly specific. Just keep moving yourself through the problem itself, because we want to bring your body's awareness, your autonomic nervous system. We want it to kind of wake up. And then once you have it and we hit a little bit of a nerve, then we start to convince ourselves of all the reasons why that energy can be moved and how it will be moved, what it'll feel like when you're done, so that you start to embody different things. So the process of emotional freedom technique is doing some similar things to shadow work. The difference between the two is with shadow work, we are going back to an unconscious memory. We're going into that deep, deep, deep level of the brain's neural tissue, the lowest two levels of your white matter. With EFT, we're landing more in the middle two layers, the subconscious things, which is equally important, just different. And these two practices go so together, so in tandem to create massive change. So the last thing I want to do with you guys today is Kundalini yoga. We're going to do a quick 3-minute Kundalini yoga practice. If you guys have never heard of Kundalini before, Kundalini is a practice that's sort of like yoga for the mind. It's not a very physical practice. It's something that can be done pretty regularly. Most people practice the same Kundalini Kriya for 40 days. A Kriya is like a set. And what we're going to do today is we're going to do a Kriya that's specifically based on prosperity. And prosperity and abundance for me is not always a money thing. It really is about an energy. It's about a shift. And Kundalini is the last piece of the puzzle. We already did the mind, we did the body, and now we're going to do the energy. When you practice Kundalini, it's a 3-part process. You tune in, then you do the Kriya or set of Kriyas, because you could do 10 in one day. It doesn't matter, whatever it is that feels good for you and your body. And then you close out the energy at the end. So I'm going to tune you guys in, because the words for the tune in are in Sanskrit. And I could teach you all of that, but for time reasons, I'm just going to tune you in together for all of us as a group. If you are familiar with Kundalini, feel free to sing along with me as we do the opening chant. And then we're going to move into a Kriya that's for prosperity. And you guys need to know the movements for that. So you can either sit in your chair with your feet firmly planted on the ground so that you're getting all your energy in, or you could sit on the floor, crisscross applesauce. And when you're sitting in that position, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be moving our hands as we do a little chant. The chant sounds like HUD, H-U-D. I'm going to put that in the chat, but it actually looks like har, H-A-R, but it's pronounced HUD. So try and say HUD. And when you say it, you should feel it from your belly. It should kind of make your navel move in and out. Hud, hud, hud. It feels kind of weird. And a lot of Kundalini truly does feel a little bit weird the first time. When we do this Kriya, we're going to be moving our hands. We're going to start by moving them together in the front with your right thumb lower than your left. Hud. And then you're going to circle it down and you're going to have the outer area, that same fleshy portion that we were using when we were doing EFT, and we're going to have it hit here. Hud. So back and forth, it's going to go hud, 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 hud. And in terms of height, you're going to do this about the same height as your belly button. I'm doing it up high to show you on the camera, but when you're actually practicing it, we're going to do it down here. Hud, 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 hud. And I will keep my hands up high so that you guys at any point can look. Your eyes are going to be mostly closed, 9/10 of the way. So barely open, staring down the tip of your nose. You should feel really funny. It's only going to be 3 minutes that we're going to do that. But as we do, we're going to be using your body's energy system to project your aura out. Everyone has an aura. Everyone has an energy signature. For people who can see energy signatures, most people's energy is about 3 inches from their body. It's small. When we practice Kundalini, it's like you are working to push it out, expand it, take up more space. So we're going to begin with a tune in. And like I said, I will do the tune in for all of us. But if you've done Kundalini before, feel free to chime in. The way that we tune in is we're going to take our hands and warm them up in front of our heart. Let your eyes close. And then you're going to rest your arms at 90-degree angles. So both arms are up and out and your hands are in front of your chest. You can peek like this in prayer pose. Good. Let your eyes close again. Take a deep breath in and out. And if you've done Kundalini before, feel free to join in. Breathe in. Om Nam Guru Dev Nam Om Nam Guru Dev Nam Om Nam Guru Dev Nam. Breathe in and hold it at the top. And as you hold, just imagine all of the power that you have, that golden honey energy that's floating through your body, shimmering as you get ready for this journey. Breathe out. And we're going to begin our 3 minutes. The chant is HUD. Let your hands come into position right in front of your belly. And remember, you can always look at me. And we're going to begin. HUD, 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 HUD. Breathe in deep and out. Raise both hands up to the sky, keeping your hands facing each other like this. You can peek. Let them go all the way up. And imagine all the energy that you just created sizzling between your fingers and your palms. Feeling it like a basketball between your hands as you breathe it in. And slowly let your arms fall down as you exhale. You're yawning, burping, any of that stuff. Energy is moving. That's good. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. So today was like a quickie version of all these different levels of how we can hack your body system. Your mind, your body, and your energy work together to not only create your memories and the foundation for how you see the world and how you stop yourself, but also for how you manifest and how it is that you can create a different life. Something that looks like whatever it is that you're hoping for, something bold, something that is filled with health, wealth, abundance, impact, whatever it is that you're looking for, you have all the tools. And so while this was a quickie version of each, I'm excited to announce to you guys today that I have a brand new program releasing today called the Paradigm Shift, where we are going to be using these 3 tools over the course of 3 months to drastically bust you wide open. If this was dipping our toes in the water, the program, the Paradigm Shift, is me taking you forcefully, throwing you out into the middle of the ocean with the sharks and going swim. It's intense. It's going to move things really, really far, really fast. And the way that that program is going to move you through all of these amazing things that you've been holding on to and don't need to anymore is going to be completely transformative. I've been doing shadow work for years. I've become the expert, the go-to person for shadow work. And even I can admit that shadow work on its own is not enough. We need everything. We need to include the body and the energy system and all of these different aspects to really make it so that you move from where you are right now to wherever the fuck it is that you want to be. And so for this masterclass, for the portal, I'm offering for anybody who signs up for it, the first 10 people to sign up are going to get a free session with me, which I literally never do. I don't offer one-to-one sessions ever. But I'm so excited about this, and I want to make it so that this is such a yummy, potent experience that it is a no-brainer. If you're ready to really make a difference, if you're ready to become that version of you that you have always dreamed you could be, I'm going to bring in all the science, everything you need to know, all the tools. You'll have lifetime access to everything and to me. So that program is available as of right now. When you go onto the website, it'll say pre-order because it's going to officially open up for everyone to begin doing on January 29th. That'll be our day 1. It is also self-study. So if you are extremely busy and you feel like you can't fit it into your schedule, bullshit. That's how you're keeping yourself in homeostasis. It's a perfect example. Go back and watch this masterclass over again and use that as the thing that you need to get rid of. Time, money, kids, anything that you come up with, all these excuses that we use, they're constructs. They're the ways that we keep homeostasis. And you are not doing that anymore. We're better than that. We are elevated as of today. So you guys are going to have this recording. You can go back and do it over and over again. This is a mini taste of what it is that will be in the paradigm. I hope I see some of you guys there. And I did promise that I was going to be doing a giveaway today. That giveaway is going to include a signed copy of my book, a copy of the Shadow Seekers Journal, a session with me. So even if you don't sign up for the course, you already get a session with me. But if you do, then you're going to get 2 sessions with me. And reading with my friend Prissy, who is the most incredible psychic that I've ever worked with. And the winner of that is Jean. So congratulations, Jean. I'm so excited to do that with you. Thank you guys so much for coming on today. Do not hesitate to reach out to me with any questions that you might have. I love you all so much. Thank you for doing this with me today. And I hope I see you inside of the paradigm shift. Bye, everyone.